is national security.
As you know, Europeans have vowed to retaliate against Harley-Davidson, Bourbon, and Blue Jeans. And President Trump responded to that threat yesterday with this tweet. I want to put it up on the board that says, if the EU wants to further increase their already massive tariffs and barriers on U.S. companies doing business there, we will simply apply a tax on their cars, which freely pour into the U.S. They make it impossible for our cars and more to sell there. Big trade imbalance. It certainly sounds like we're already in a trade war.
Well, think about it. We have unilaterally given away all kinds of concessions ever since the end of World War II. And in the beginning, that was probably good policy to rebuild Europe and rebuild Asia after the ravages of the war. The mistake that our trade negotiators made way back then and continued to make was not time limiting it. Concessions that were perfectly reasonable to make to Germany in 1945 or China in 1945 don't make sense anymore. Those are now very mature, big, strong economies. So there's a lot of history that needs to be undone.
Well, that sounds like we are in for some more escalation. And the president said also in a tweet earlier this week, the trade wars are good and easy to win. Do you believe that? Are trade wars good and easy to win?
Well, I think what the president had in mind was that unlike the Smoot-Hawley days in the 1930s, back then the U.S. had a big trade surplus and the world was in a depression. Now we have a big trade deficit. Well, if we have a big trade deficit with our other partners, they have a lot more to lose than we do because those hundreds of billions of dollars are in their pockets now, not ours.
It sounds like
so that's what I believe he meant.